All right. Ark was kind enough to send me his model. He has been working for a barn, and well, there's a little painted dot here. Let's remove that. Hold down Control. Zoinks. Um. So yeah, because he has issues with like cutting holes from these doors, like the exact way the doors are, and then putting them into like cutting holes in the barn, right? Um, because usually what you can do is just use the booleans and then mark this and then it would cut a hole, but it just refuses to do so. So there is no need to like make it even more complex. First of all, what we want to do is just make sure that the model is clean. So what I just do is mark the object, go into edit mode, select vertices by pressing 1 or up here, and then merge by pressing M by distance, and then down here we can see it removed excess 16 vertices. You can do that with everything. What we also can do is just go and check if I press N. So I have the tab here, then we can see the location and rotation and scale and stuff like that is, well, all over the place. So what we also can do is Control A and then just do rotation and scale, because location might be fine, or we could just go Control and then all transforms. But for now, let's do rotation and scale, because this is the rotation we want to keep on our door. This is the scale we want to keep on our door. So we're not going to be, changing it again. And the same we can do for this. Control A and then rotation and scale. So now we can also do the same thing for this one. Tab, go into object mode, A to select everything, M to merge by distance, and again, remove 16 vertices because these two are most likely duplicates. So that's why we have excess vertices. And then let's do the same thing here. Rotation scale, select this one, object mode, vertices, all, M, merge, again, 16 vertices. And then let's do the same thing here. And just basically repeat the process for every object that you've created by using booleans and whatnot, just to make sure that everything is clean. Because then you won't have like double faces, double meshes, and whatnot. And then let's say rotation and scale, and then we have a clean mesh without any double like excess vertices. And then let's do these guys up here as well. By distance. Wait. All by distance. And then let's rotation and scale. Do we remember all of them? There is also a beam up here, I'm guessing, for the door. So rotation and scale. This one shouldn't have any extra vertices. Nope, it doesn't. Cool. And then let's take the barn itself. A, M, by distance, remove 16 vertices. So all the excess stuff has been removed. Let's see here. By distance, none. Distance, none. Cool. So that was all that stuff. But now we want to make cutouts for the doors like he has made here, right? And I'm guessing there are a little bit of free floating vertices after. You see them right here and right here. So what we can do is just go in here and select them. I'm just holding down Shift and then X and then dissolve vertices, and then we can just actually, oh, you saw that? Then everything just vanished on us. All right, so dissolve vertices wouldn't work. So let's try and do them one by one. Nope. delete vertices. Okay, so they worked for this one. Delete vertices, that also worked. Let's see here. Delete these vertices and these vertices. I'm guessing it's these guys right here that are doing, you see there's like a gap here. So what we can do is just go into here, select vertex mode, G, Z, and then scale them so they match this guy here, the same height and everything. And then what we also can do is take this guy, I double tap G, slide it into place here, double tap G, slide it into place here, because there's like seriously no need for having those vertices right there. And then let's see what we can do here. We could actually go G, Z, match it to this one, G, Y, to move it across here. So G, Y, and then to this one, so they're identical. Then double tap G, slide this one into place. And then same thing here, G, Z, up to this one by holding control. G, Y, holding control, snapping it to this one. So you see they're same height, same length. And then double tap G, slide it into place. So now you see the mesh is a lot cleaner, basically. So what we now want to do is go A, M, merge by distance, and we removed 4 excess vertices, because remember we slapped 2 here and 2 here. So that's 4 vertices that were in excess, extra vertices. So here's the thing though, like when you're making doors or opening for doors, in my honest opinion, you don't need booleans for that. Booleans, sure, you can use for, you know, more advanced stuff like this, but in essence, booleans, you can just do this. Select the building, go into edit mode, and then let's do a loop cut, right? So we're gonna do a loop cut here to match the door, a loop cut here to match this door, right? And then let's say we want stuff in between, then we just, you know, we could essentially add one loop cut here and then add another one here. But I'm guessing this needs to be open, so we're just gonna add a loop cut here and then slide it up, right? So what we then can do is just select interface mode by pressing 3, click on the stuff behind here, X, and then just delete the face. Because then what we can do is just go here, here, hide them, and we have a door. It's simple as that. Because the amount of faces here, we can always clean those up later. Like for instance, say you're all finished with your model and it's going to be imported into Giant's editor, and it tends to, you know, do its wonky stuff regarding how it converts meshes. So sure, you can then just go in here and select these guys here, X, and dissolve these edges. Those are edges. But in essence, you wouldn't have to, and just import it into game, see how it works, how performance is, and then take it from there. Like the same way we would do here is just go Control R, slide it into place, Control R again, slide it into place. Right, we already have this one across because we created it over there. And here's the thing, if you notice that when I create loop cuts, right, it creates the loop cuts correctly here, but as soon as it reaches this area here in the middle and up top here, it like irks out. It doesn't know what to do. And that is because we here don't have a loop cut all the way across and all the way across. So it's not, there are usually when you can create loop cuts, it needs 4 vertices, right, to create a face. Anything else in between would be called a NURB, meaning unequal, essentially the way I understand it and learned it, unequal amount of vertices. So it would be the same thing here. We would need a loop cut going all the way up and all the way across and stuff like that. So that's why I usually tend to use less booleans and then just use loop cuts and then clean up my mesh afterwards if needed be. But you know, that's the way I work, and then mainly because then you get a way cleaner mesh. For instance, if you want to, I don't know, sell your mesh to someone or whatever. Anyway, we created this door, X, and then delete the face. So again, if I press H now and hide these doors, so we have another opening. We can even hide these doors here. So that's in my honest opinion, the easiest way to open door, like create doors that you can open and stuff like that. I would even go as far as saying this is, you know, not to talk bad about the model, because it's a gorgeous model, don't get me wrong, but there are some, like, just use loop cuts for most things, like for instance here where we have this bar, right, this one here. I'm just gonna hide it just so I can show you something. We have these vertices here, so I'm just gonna do this, 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 and this, and merge these by using F, or, you know, fill out the gap. And then what I am actually gonna do is I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna G, Y, and slide them in, or we can actually double press G. You see this? Like it all looks messed up. That's from the booleans. So, and then use these guys, and then G, and slide them in, right? And then what we can actually do is just press mark these guys M. Oh, sorry, not N. M by distance. It didn't remove anything. Okay, cool. So we need to do some more work for it. So what we can do is merge, collapse. That didn't do it. Merge at center. Nothing. All right, so let's take these guys. Merge at center. All right, that did something for us. And then again, merge, center, merge, center, shift down, merge, center, and again, merge, center. And what we actually could do now is just slide it all the way down, right? Mark it all, A, M, by distance, remove the one excess vertice, and that's the one we slapped down there. So what we could do now is clean it up even further, just so I can show you what I mean. Now I'm pressing K to use the knife, and then I'm just gonna do this, press enter, created a new face, and then go G, Z, and I wanted the same height, so now we have a, you know, a square face here, and then do the same thing here, K from this, and then I'm holding down shift to slap it in the middle, and then press enter, and then select this vertex, G, Z, hold down control, and the reason it snaps is because I have it selected to snap to vertex, right? So the same thing, we have like this hole up here. We could essentially just like patch it up, but just to prove my point, like for instance, now we can make loop cuts in here because those are, you know, 4 vertices. Up here we can't do it because of this up top. So I mean, we could do like create a knife cut from here to down here, and then all of a sudden, if I wanted to, we could essentially, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, take this one and then, you know, slide it up or whatnot. I mean, there are various ways to do this, but you know, I'm just gonna leave it be for now. And then what I will do though is I'm gonna try and see if I can create a cut through here, and then here, here, enter, there we go, right? So we have these guys here, and then I'm just gonna slap them all the way down. So let's do it like this. Slide them all the way down to the end on both sides, right? And then what we can do is G, Z, widen them up a little bit. It's roughly around here. And then do a cut through here to here. Enter. Cut through here to here. Enter. And you see it's a little wonky, and we want it to be the same on the same angle. So we're just gonna do G, Y, and snap to this vertice, right? And then do the same thing, G, Y to this vertice. Because now what we actually can do is just take these guys out, for instance, and you just extrude them out. Right? So much cleaner. We could also do it before without these guys here when we dragged it up, the extra vertices we made. Right? And then we could just do like take these guys and then just extrude them out to cover the door. And don't extrude again if you need to. And then I pressed Control Z because otherwise, let's see, I'm gonna extrude and then I'm like, oh no, wait, I regret, and then continue on modeling. What will happen? The extrusion already happened. Because if I take these, see, these edges are still here. They're still present. So what we wanna do is make sure we don't have extra vertices again. So what we can do is just extrude here. And what extrude actually does, you see, it creates this like room here. And obviously some clipping because the textures are so close to each other. But what we can do though, is we can go into vertex mode and then connect these four, press F, connect these two with these two, press F, and then do this, and then extrude this way also, if needed be. If we just want to close this hole, then you know we did our job. It looks perfect, cool. It's only out here that the doors can slide. So yeah, I mean that's the way I would do it. And then we can argue if this is right or not, but it's way cleaner essentially. For instance, the same way with this one, I wouldn't do it like this. Sorry. But I would just do one singular mesh out of a block, extrude it, slide it down, attach it to this. Let me do a quick thingamabob. I'm just sitting and thinking if we should just patch this little hole. I'm just gonna leave it be. Instead of patching it up the same way. For instance, there is this boolean here. I mean, you could have just left it be. It wouldn't, because it's hidden from plain sight, so it's just excess mesh stuff. So I would just do this and then just go cube. Oh shit, now I attached the cube to the house. That wasn't intentional. When you're in edit mode and you add something, you actually add it to the parent mesh. So let's do this. I want it to be centered up here. So what I'm actually going to do is just click on the vertice, which is centered, right? Shift S, cursor to selected. Then you see my crosshair snaps up there. Go into object mode, Shift A, mesh, cube, and it just automatically spawns in the center there. So I can just go scale it down a little bit. Let's make it a little bit wider. G, Z, slide it up into place. And I think the roof was 88.7. So let's take this value and feed it in here. Go into top view. GX, slide it into place roughly around here, right? And then we can always make it just a tiny bit smaller so it fits under the roof. Oh, we can actually do it a little bit more. This should do it. All right. And then I'm just gonna Shift H, hide everything else, go into edit mode, edge mode, right? And then I'm just gonna do a loop cut, and what I'm gonna do is do this, and then SX, so I scale it on the x-axis, right? And then I'm just gonna do a cut right around here, and then do another loop cut with 2. I use scroll wheel to control it. Click once, S and X. And then let's say this would be the thickness of the beam. So this right here, see these? That'll be the thickness, right? So what I'm going to do now is just go and select these two edges here. There are probably faster way to do this, but you know, I'm still learning. So, and then just extrude. So E, and then start going down to, let's say, what, roughly around. Yeah, let's do it like this. So like this, and then SX to scale it inward. And then we can always do this, unhide our building. So we know the edge is right here. So we go SX and then do this roughly around here, right? And then do R. And then we need to select one face at a time because we won't be able to rotate it otherwise. So we're gonna do edit mode, select this face, and this is the y-axis, the green one. So we're gonna go R to rotate on the y-axis, hold down control, so we do it by increments, and then we will see that it's at 90 degrees rotation. You see? And then let's do the same thing on this one, where we select this face, and then we can just see it from the side. R, Y, and then we can just increments, see, okay, this matches, cool. And then we can go back to the other side, select this one, so we won't have to do double the work. And we also know that they will be in sync. And then go G, Z, and then just slide them up to roughly where the other one was, right? And then we can see they stick out through the building up here. And I mean, sure, then you can connect them so you have one beam across the entire roof. But what you can also do is just go G, like select the face you want, right? And then select here and then go into face mode. And then go G, with this face selected, go G, and then go on the x-axis, hold down control and slap it to the building. So it fits perfectly. And we know it's the same like length as the building itself. So we can, you know, rest assured. And even if there are like minuscule differences, this isn't something the player would notice. It's just to make it look more realistic. So G, Y, oh, nope, that's the y-axis, that would mess it up. So we're going to go with face selected. Into snapping, we go G, X, hold down control, and then we see we use it on the face. It doesn't move, it just knows the where it needs to attach. So there we go. And then if we do mark our cube and then go into Alt H, so we unhide everything, then we will see that, you know, it appears for us here. This is the old one. You can just hide it. And this is the new one with one complete mesh. So you won't have to worry about anything in booleans and whatnot. And even if it clipped like through the building, up top without you using booleans, it doesn't matter. You won't be able to see it. It just clips through. That's it. So that's the way at least my workflow is. I just extrude everything, then clean up the mesh. So extrude, so I have clean loop cuts and I can do more things. For instance, let's say I wanted to have a little cover for the roof where the door is open, then I would just do a loop cut here and then do another one, let's say roughly here, right? And then I would take these two faces, extrude them out, and then what I would do is just take these top guys here, G, Z, slide them down. So yeah, extrude is the way, honestly. Like loop cuts and extrude. The same way, like for instance, if you're planning on having windows here, then I would just do something like make a loop cut with 2, scale it on the x-axis, and say I want the windows to be this big, and then create another loop cut down here, for instance, or something similar to that. And then you have this window, and if you want a window frame, then what you can do is extrude inward a little bit, and then with this face selected, just delete it, and you have a window with a window frame. And that's all you need, essentially. Also, you need to add a solidifier modifier for your building so it looks thicker, if it makes any sense. Because right now, if I was to hide these doors, you see, there is no thickness to it. So with that, I would essentially, if we just unhide the doors again and then add back our window, because here's the thing, when you're adding windows like that, or what I just did, I'm just gonna Control Z my way back. What you can do is also, you know, like make way more loop cuts, for instance, right? That's one way of doing it. And then, all right, I want the height to be around here, and then say I want the window here, 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 none here, and then 2 in the end here, maybe 1 here, right? Something along these lines, and do the same thing over here. And then, but if we take one side at a time, then press E, and then you want it to go inward, press minus on the numpad, minus 0.2, and press enter. And then all of them are going to extrude the exact same way. And also now you have a numeric value, so you could do this, this, let's say this, this. They don't have to be unison. But if they do, then you can always, you know, make sure you select them the exact same way, but take one side at a time. But we have this, so E again, minus 0.2. And there you go. And then we can just, you know, delete these faces, and you got windows. But I digress. That's, you know, in my opinion, the best way of doing things. But anyway, let's get back to, you know, making some depth or thickness to the building here. So what I would basically just do is add a solidify modifier, which you find down here. And then you see that it will add some thickness to your building. And it might also show where the mesh is messed up. Like up here. And like various places, it might simply just go, ugh. And we can add some even thickness to it, and you will see that, you know, it does some wonky things. And then we could just go 0.1. Okay, so fill. We need some fill inside it, even thickness. Could just go, how do we want it, you know, the offset to be? And we just want the offset to be outside, and then you will see like where the meshes need to be cleaned up instantly. And that's up top near up here that I was talking about. You can also see that it actually messes up the windows. But that will add the thickness. So when you cut out for windows and whatnot, it will work. so there is, you know, depth to it. But usually Solidify, I tend to use it in the beginning, because then, you know, you won't have these issues here. But I would say clean up your mesh and you should be good. Because it's a really nice, like, it's a really nice idea and a really nice building. But yeah, that's all from me. Jesus, the video is 30 minutes long. Sorry about that. But I really hope this helps you. Like how to do all this and how to clean up your mesh. Because it can really mess everything up for you. But hopefully it will all work out. That's all from me. Have fun.